Wow.
Yes.
And I really loved how you mentioned glow from head to toe. And I think that's really important because it highlights that the glow doesn't come out of our outside. It's not through a product, but through this whole almost like a ritual that you've created that has evolved from your deeper experiences and requirements and such a healing tool. It is like an internal to outer worldly glow. I think that's really special and puts a different spin on our self care beauty experiences. That is also a health requirement, too.
Yes. Yes. Thank you
Mm.
so much. Yes, and it is definitely a health requirement. Like I think about people who I don't want to say struggle with because no matter what we deal with, I hope that it's, you know, as easeful as possible. And I know that's not always a situation, but what I was going to say is who struggle with diabetes. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around not being able to feel my feed and having to intentionally check because if I don't check, it might be however long before I realize something's going on with my body. These are different things that people are struggling with. And so to check in a proactive way is definitely a requirement. When we look at the rates of chronic illness and things like that, you'll have to do it on one side of the timeline, and I would rather do it in a way where I can romanticize it, and it can definitely be within 10 minutes. You can make it longer. You can make a whole massage session stretch.
And I think it's the ultimate self care practice because, as you say, we don't want to get to a stage where we're getting a diagnosis from the doctor. We want to be at a stage where we're doing all of the preventative methods as possible.
Right.
And that
Right.
starts with the check in because, as you know, it takes 10, 20 years for cancer, diabetes to happen in the body. It doesn't happen
Yeah.
overnight, and it's the
Wow.
repetition of all of your habits. So I love this. The massage
Thank you.
is the check in. It's like, okay, there's tension in my shoulders, or there's a bit of numbness here, or I don't have great circulation. Why? And then investigating, okay, today I probably shouldn't have gummy bears. At least it's not
Yes.
that numbing out of
Mhm.
the sensation and cues that you receive.
Yes. And I love what you said because it is about the lifestyle. It's not about the diet. I've said it's a lifestyle. Is it or is it like a diet? I just realized that yesterday. But that's the thing, is that sometimes you do say yes. If you're super focused on, no, I don't eat brownies. No, I don't eat chocolate. We're not eating sugar right now. I need to be healthy. You're just thinking about sugar, sugar, sugar. Like, what are you doing? Let's not count calories. Let's count fruits and vegetables. Let's count glasses of water when time outside. And when we look at those things and build it into a lifestyle, it makes it so much easier. It takes less willpower, which leaves more room for other decisions, right? We're making decisions from a better place, a more centered place, a healthier place. And then we can really be in a position to help those that we love in a healthy way, not an overextension or anything like that, but from a place of love and authentic health.
So, where are you now within the community, the podcast, Women Connected in Wisdom?
Yes.
Where are you in this stage of your evolution?
Such a good question. As a business owner, I'm in a stage of reevaluating what I need. When we talk about women connected in wisdom and how we started, me meeting Joe and Joe and Christine having this group that they were starting, us meeting weekly, and then eventually Christine and I starting this podcast. This group that we were part of was an entrepreneurial group. I didn't have a business yet, right? And it was very apparent to me that I didn't have a business, even as a network marketer, because I didn't own the business, right? This was a product rollout that was rolled out to me. And it was based on this amazing company, right? With amazing products. And the products weren't necessarily aligned to fit me as a salesperson, right? I had opportunities in my sales skills and follow-up skills and different things that I'm still working on. So there's reasons that it wasn't the best alignment, but it was still this great company. But I knew talking to business owners, I do want to be a business owner. I want to be able to, move things a certain way, set myself up a certain way, and speak from a certain place instead of feeling like I had this pseudo authority when it wasn't really my company that I was talking about. It just kind of felt like I should be aligned different. To now, and it's been over 5 years. Now I have
Mm.
3 companies, and am doing other things like we
Wow.
talk about. And so it's been beautiful to watch it grow. I've gone from the young 20-something-year-old woman in the group, right, who didn't have any businesses to the publisher of the Amazon bestsellers who are still on this Zoom call, and now you're my narrators and my guest speakers and my co-host for wellness events and things like that. It's a completely different position. And so I want to be a good steward of opportunity and make sure that as the levels change, recalibrates with it.
It's really inspiring. I
Thank
really
you so
think that
much.
that will inspire so many people,
Mm,
so many women. I know it's tough out there. I know you mentioned it at the beginning, but you've really seized the moment and you've really backed yourself and took courage. But I feel like we talk about a lot as this big kind of masculine thing. But I think courage is really an open heart, and courage is vulnerability, isn't it? Could you speak to this?
So when we talk about vulnerability and courage, yes, it takes vulnerability to say, "Hey, you might have hurt my feelings when you said this," right? I don't even know if I would say it that way, but this is how I might feel, right? Like, "You hurt my feelings when you said this." And then the next sentence, it'll take boldness to also hold a boundary, "Well, oh, I didn't mean it like that, XYZ said." I understand that, and I appreciate that you feel that way, and that's why I love our friendship. I just wanted to bring it up so that and just holding space for yourself. And that could look like rest. That could look like sharing a plan and being organized.
And then that really goes into what we're really speaking about, her daily rhythm. That is, there is a rhythm within a rhythm within a rhythm.
Mm, there is.
So I would love to ask you a couple of quick fire questions that we ask every
Yes.
guest.
Yes.
So it's just the first thing that comes to you. So tell me how you live in rhythm.
Mm. And we've kinda talked about it, right? It's
Mm.
the if I don't do anything else, I do ask, "What do I need today?" Right? So it's not, "Is my rhythm always the same?" It's, "Am I on rhythm for today?" And even if I know I'm
Mm.
45 minutes behind where I thought I would, I don't like to rush, so it's not, "Oh, I'm 45 minutes behind and I rush the rest of the day." It's just a noting, "Okay, I'm 45 minutes behind. So now let me think about what I have for the rest of the day and what would happen if that moved 45 minutes? Do I need to catch up? Is there something that I need to change or pivot? Or do I let it push 45 minutes? Or do I stop and let it push an hour and a half and give myself 45 minutes so I can catch up and recenter?"
I love that. Do
Yes.
you have do you have cheat days? And what would you do?
Mm. So have the intention of not cheating, right? Of no cheat days. But then I learned that you do have to give and take. And sometimes you don't have to like never have gummy bears again. Like these Albanese are good, they're gluten free, it's great, but they will happen and they do happen, right? So initially I was like, maybe I make a certain day of the week a cheat day. But I felt like now I'm looking forward to that day, and the point is to look right, like, Thursday, I can't wait, like, oh my goodness, like, no, I wanna have that joy for the healthy parts that I'm building into the habits, right? Um, so what I do instead is follow the law, right? Just different laws and, non-negotiables that I have for myself. So stay on the healthy path, right? Run the healthy race, and if you think about something, entertain it and see why, right? Lemon drops, they come no, but we're not doing alcohol. So that's a no. It's like a little tennis ball. I've been playing pickleball. It's a no. You just toss it back out. No, no, no. But something else. Definitely consider my cycle and the fact that I'm on camera and stuff. Like I don't want to be breaking out on the 20th. I've been thinking about you all week. Like I gotta make sure my skin is good. So and that's why it was gummy bears and not chocolate. Okay.
I love the reference to gummy bears because gummy
Yeah.
bears used to be my favorite. I would
Yeah.
hoover a whole pack. Yeah. I don't do that anymore. It's career suicide, but your taste
Yeah.
buds change. I have different things now.
Yeah.
So, what do you do on those days that everyone
Yeah.
around you seems to be, like, really irritating? You know, when you're like, "Oh my god, these people are just being so stupid." What do you do on those days? And then how do you come back into balance?
Yeah. So it shows me that I might be out of balance, right? And if I feel like that's what they're showing me, and they usually don't, again, is am I okay? What's going on with me? And are they okay? And usually after you get through those two questions and everything that might happen, you're on the other side and people feel different, you know? Um, but yes, check in with myself, right? Because if somebody is, for example, I had somebody who was charging at me one night. I'm a kitchen manager closing this kitchen, huge gentleman walking towards me. He's upset, right? I have to check myself and make sure that I handle my team a certain way, and then check with him to see what my team member needs because I'm responsible for making sure that he's taken care of in the space. What's going on? What do I need to do in this situation? Is usually still myself, center myself. I do that in a couple of different ways. In that moment, all you can do is take a breath, right? But then after that, because I'm realizing, hey, this was a difficult moment, I would do deep breaths, whether that's heart math. Have you heard of heart math?
I have indeed. Would you like to
Okay.
tell everybody? I love Heart
Yes.
Math.
I love it. I love it.
I'm
So,
so happy that you use it too. That's really cool.
yes. And band, like that's why I'm realizing band and breath work and stuff has been so instrumental. I guess
Sorry,
pun
you
intended.
said you said band?
Band, yes. I played flute for 7 years.
Oh, sorry, playing in the band. Yeah,
Yes,
flute. Oh,
yes, yes, yes.
I
Yes.
tried it for 2 years, but I couldn't do the whole
Yeah. Yeah.
wasn't my
I
thing.
mean, you did it for 2 years, but I hear what you're saying.
I was 5.
Yes.
I got the
Okay.
belt if I didn't.
Uh,
Yeah, it's
I
fine.
hear you. Yes, yes. So, where we were talking about breathing
Out
and heart math. So,
Heart Math.
the way I think
Mhm.
about it and the way I share it is either a count of 4 or a count of 5, right? But you put your hands on your heart. You can do it without putting your hands on your heart. What I realize is that I actually need to. I didn't realize how in my head I was, but I need to put my hands on my heart to think about it, right? And you breathe in for 4, out for 4. Or you can choose to do 5. And you do a couple of breaths, and it centers you into your body. When you're controlling your breathing that way and you're lowering your rate, your heartbeats per minute, it's bringing you out of fight or flight and literally reestablishing homeostasis, right? Which is a calm state again. And so, again, first responders won't always be able to put their hands on their hearts. So you might do this in a few deep breaths. I did this in a second. This gentleman is walking towards me. I said, okay. And I said what I said, and the situation was handled and everything was fine. Um, so that's one thing I do to center myself. I do this in moments when I step away, but I know I have to step back. And I do it at the beginning of me trying to go deeper and meditate and feel my heart rate on the bottom of this is something I do, the soles of my feet, right? Can you feel your whole body? And can I feel it? How tuned in am I to my whole body? When I'm doing things like that, I'm bringing myself back home to myself and really checking in. Because as a leader, when I speak to people, I try to give my complete undivided attention. So if I give you my undivided attention and treat you like the most important person in the world when I'm talking to you, of course, I want to, and I'm working on getting better at, right? Doing that for myself. And are you really checking in? When you say, are you okay? Are you really okay? We talk about community. This is what else I do.
I want you to talk to people that probably aren't aware that normal
Yes.
mainstream candles are not great for people with respiratory problems,
Right.
asthma, they're toxic.
Hmm.
So it's
Hmm.
this whole piece around toxicity that is in our homes, and isn't
Right.
the research stating that our homes can be more toxic than outside?
Wow. That's great. So just being mindful of how to use products in the right way. And like you were saying earlier, I do absolutely think it's a requirement to read the ingredients labels. Let's know what we're putting in our bodies. I saw this study about um, hot dogs increasing cholesterol in children by 700%. I said, that's a great test average, like
700.
100, 700. I said, that has to be on purpose.
700. Wow.
It's crazy.
700%. But that's also amazing that they have done the study now, but it's taken 30 years too late, right? But equally, great awareness is empowerment, isn't it?
Yes.
And so I just want to go back to your candle because I think this is
Mhm.
really important because candle space is, ritual. It's got the nice aromas. We all like candles. So can you tell me
Yes.
why beeswax?
Yes. So beeswax, because of the company first, right? Because doing my research study in product development for Shalo Glow, I had decided no to beeswax. I had decided
Oh,
no to cocoa butter, right? Because I specifically wanted this 100% natural African shea butter and the consistency that it has when it's melted, when it has coconut oil in it. That's what I wanted. And beeswax is very different, right? It's still a sealant, but it's different. And so this company I had the opportunity to retail with, we were on Spark Lab, well, in Spark Lab on Auburn Avenue. It's a historic street in Atlanta. And this company was coming in, right? We had space for 4 companies. JLo Glow was the first company. And at first I said, is this not very closely aligned with JLo Glow? Like, is this not direct competition to my products, right? It'll work, XYZ. I said, okay. And not again that I am opposed to competition, but I don't see other people as competition, right? It's important to know who's in the market as far as
mm,
brands and products. And so I was trying to make sure that I did my due diligence because that's been something I've been working on. Our relationship, me and Sarita's relationship, our brands are a beautiful example of collaboration over competition, right? This
mm.
beeswax candle on top of the shea butter, phew, I'm telling you, my goodness, changed my life. And if Sarita, as a business owner, had not been in Spark with me through everything that we dealt with in Atlanta and had the opportunity to learn as business owners and grow, like, my experience would have been completely different. So she covered me as a person, her candles covered me as a
Mm,
product, and, I love the sage, and so it's been really grounding, and again, just breathe in, breathe out. You are taken care of, you have what you need, and your community can grow in beautiful ways when you allow it to, because if I had operated differently, I could have been catty, could have never tried her product, could have been rude, like, it would have been horrible, you know?
I think that's
Yeah,
that's the piece is that there is no competition actually
right.
because you are so unique with your story, your vision, your magic.
Mhm,
And if we can just build each other up and create partnerships and collaboration and exchange, going back to our original discussion is that women are the original entrepreneurs. So it's just sharing and we can learn something different.